Meet Jack Thompson. Before he became an internet punchline to millions of gamers, he was a licensed attorney with a long history of high-profile anti-obscenity campaigns in Florida. Thompson developed a theory that Grand Theft Auto was more than a game. He argued it was a murder simulator, specifically designed to rewire the brains of teenagers. He pushed this narrative despite a total lack of scientific evidence. At the time, the medical consensus found no verifiable link between video games and real-world violence. To overcome the absence of scientific proof, Thompson turned to the American civil court system, utilizing the sheer volume of legal filings as his primary weapon. He filed suit after suit, demanding hundreds of millions of dollars in damages, explicitly aiming to force Rockstar Games into total bankruptcy. Thompson wasn't looking for a traditional legal victory in front of a jury. He was using the litigation process itself as a blunt instrument to enforce a moral panic. A pattern emerged where Thompson would immediately insert himself into the aftermath of violent tragedies, often before the families had even buried their dead. In the 2003 Dustin Lynch case, he attempted to take over a murder defense, trying to shift the legal culpability from the killer to the software. His demands grew increasingly bold. In a case involving the Buckner brothers, he sued publishers and retailers for $246 million. Despite the media attention, the lawsuits failed. Judges across the country uniformly rejected his claims for lacking both legal standing and scientific merit. This map shows how his campaign scaled. He started in Florida, but soon moved his litigation efforts into the Tennessee court system. From there, the filings multiplied, spreading into Alabama, New Mexico, and several other states simultaneously. Each judicial rejection only seemed to increase his output, transforming his crusade into a sprawling war of legal attrition. By March 2007, Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, decided the constant cycle of litigation had to be addressed directly. With the high-stakes releases of Grand Theft Auto 4 and Manhunt 2 approaching, the company needed to protect its most valuable intellectual properties from further interference. Take-Two launched a preemptive legal strike, filing a lawsuit designed to block his access to the courts and stop the harassment. Their argument was specific. They asked the court to formally declare their games as protected speech under the First Amendment. This focused corporate strategy was the direct opposite of Thompson's emotional, scattershot approach to the law. The maneuver forced the legal system to evaluate Thompson's behavior against the company's constitutional rights, effectively halting his momentum. Thompson responded to the Take-Two lawsuit by publicly praying for the company's total destruction. These erratic outbursts suggested to the broader legal community that he had replaced professional ethics with a personal vendetta. The Florida bar eventually launched a formal investigation into his long history of professional misconduct. Investigators focused on his repeated violations of courtroom rules and his flagrant disrespect for the ethical standards required of a licensed attorney. The Supreme Court of Florida eventually issued a permanent disbarment, ending his career and stripping him of his license to practice law. There is a deep irony here. Thompson spent a decade arguing that games made people lose their sense of restraint. In his attempt to destroy a fictional murder simulator, Thompson was the only one who truly lost control, ultimately destroying his own professional life.